Welcome, Vanguardians. I am Ulysses Muff, the world's greatest puppy imprinter with some of the world's greatest working dogs. You know, I try to get on here and go live every day for you guys. I know I'm a little late. Normally, I come in the morning time around 9 o'clock, between 9 and 10. And what's up, Sage? And I dropped some information that could be very useful for you guys who are here just starting to train. So I'm going to give it a 15-minute run, and I'm going to answer two questions that were sent to me. Basically, that's what I get on here now. I try to do. I know you have questions. Sometimes I just go back into the live videos and I see things that you guys asked me that I may have overlooked, and I come back. What's up, Laura? What's up? What's up? I'm glad to see you back on the live with me. So today's tip and question was, oh my God, I forgot just that fast. I was asked the process of learning. Basically, I was asked, how fast should my dog? The guy said, "Well, my dog. I'm trying to teach my dog how to sit and to bite. And how fast should he learn this before I give up on him?" And I'm saying to myself, whoa. You really have to really understand training. For me, I don't put a time span on how fast my dog learns something. It's about the dog getting a clear picture, learning the information, processing the information, and then letting the dog act upon the information. And then I begin to shape that behavior and use it different places, different times, until he understands that this is second nature. So you can't teach a dog to sit for 4 days or for a week, and then you never tell him sit again, or you never have him do certain things around the house, around the yard, or out in public, and expect the dog to be a perfectionist. So in order for the dog to perfect what you're teaching him, you're going to have to utilize that in his everyday life. So to answer that question, I want to give a good understanding to you so you can have the light bulb effect. I don't have my light bulb around here, so let's hold a candle. Let's some light. Let's get the light bulb effect for you. And then you can get the light bulb. Then you can understand the dog and understand what training is, and it'll be more useful to you. Okay. If I'm teaching a dog down or sit, and I feel like I'm going to teach this dog sit every day, different, 5-minute sessions, 2-minute sessions, or when I encounter him, I go to his cage, I give him a sit before I open the cage and give him some water or some food. If I take him out the cage, when I stop, I tell him, wait. I put a cue word on everything, and then I say sit. And so I'm training him, and I'm giving him the process of learning and understanding that sit is a part of his everyday life. So later on, he begins to just sit on his own. And then when I catch him exhibiting that behavior, I praise and remark it, and I praise and reward for just doing it for no reason, So there's no time span, and I say it in all the videos. We have to slow down. There's no rush to get your dog out here to be a super biter next week. It don't happen like that for every dog. I don't learn that fast. You might get Edward Day on here, Edward Day, and Edward Day might not learn that fast. Or Bando for life might not learn that fast. Sage might not get it. And then turn around, you got Isaac and Laura. They read a book, read the paperwork, and then they came back and saw it, and then here they are 4 days later. They're great dog trainers, or they have the dog process the information. Hey, sweetheart, and processing the information, and now they're sitting here modeling what they've learned, and Now they're becoming perfectionists at what they learned, and it's just working that way for them. So every dog won't learn as fast as the others, and maybe as trainers, we're not doing a good job at making the dog understand it. Our communication with the dog may not be locked. So until you have 4 or 5 trainers standing there and we watch the dog behaviors, and then we try to assess the problem and try to figure out what's going on in his head, and it's never the dog, it's always us. You don't put a time span on how fast your dog learns something and how fast he does something. If it takes 5 months to get him to learn to sit, one day you wake up and he's got sit, and you can tell him from 50 yards or 1,000 yards and make him go into a down and back up into a sit, and he has it. Then the light bulb effect, it just went off. Bling, 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 bling. And he got it. And you say, good boy. So if you're going to teach a dog something, be patient. Have a light hand. Don't be abusive with the tools, the e-collars and your pinch collars and your choke collars. Don't get frustrated and jack him all up and all of that, hitting him with paper because your grandmother, great-great-grandmother told your great-great-granddaddy that, and your great-granddaddy you respect and love told you to beat him because when he pee on the floor, man, that's crazy. That make a dog scared of you and fall to the ground. No. We have to sit and think and figure out what is it I'm not doing to get the information to the dog, to get the dog to learn it in a timely manner. Or while we're practicing it, what am I doing that he can't figure it out? It's something I'm doing wrong. I need to go back and talk to Ulysses. I need to go back and talk to somebody over here at Learburg, or go out here and talk to some guys who are training dogs out here in this world that seems to have a successful format, and figure out what they're doing that I'm not doing. Because sooner or later, the dog is going to get it. And so, even with your bite work, I tell you guys, slow down. If you want him to bite, let's teach him the fundamentals. So my methods are like Mr. Miyagi: wax on, wax off. Go wash my car, and you're learning to wax this way, and you're learning to wax that way. Before you know it, you're blam, 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 blam. So then we put you in a fight. And then you go out there and spar with someone. And then we put you in a real fight after you learn the technique. So teach your dog the technique. Teach him to bite and play with you and wrestle and fight, and he learns to bite. And then teach him to run out and grab something and all those other things. Then later on in his life, you put him in a situation where he's protecting his yard, and then he's doing defense, and he is aggressive. He doesn't know that person, so he's barking. And if that person runs, it's going to trigger him off to bite him. So now look, the light bulb effect has just came across his mind. Wait a minute, I learned how to bite. I know how to push in. I know how to counter and rebite. My master plays this game with me. Now that I'm barking, my natural behavior is to bite and go into fight. And so he's going to use all of that information that he's learned, these pictures that have been painted in his head. And then when he get his light bulb effect, he's going to look amazing. So that's it right there. And another guy asked me, he said, did I go to school and learn about dog training? No, man, I didn't go to no school, learn about no dog training. I've been training animals. The first animal I ever trained was a chicken. I trained a chicken. My sister, God bless the dead, who's passed on, my favorite sister, used to beat me up every day like a ritual. I think when I was about 5 or 6 years old, I ran to my neighbor's house when she was going to beat me up, and the dog attacked her. And since that day, I've always had this idea that I wanted a dog, and I could keep people from beating me up, going to school and having a little bit more than they did with that dog. When I saw that dog do that, I swear I've been hooked, and I've been like, oh man, I love dogs. I mean, that's what opened it up. My uncle gave me a dog. My uncle was just passed away last week. My uncle taught me gave us all the tools on how to survive in life, and he gave me a dog. That was my first dog. And he showed me some things, and ever since then, I've been hooked with animals. But before I got those dogs, the only thing I was allowed to have from off the ranch was a chicken. I wasn't allowed to have anything, and I taught that chicken how to attack people. And basically what I did was I sat down and I watched the chickens like I do with dog training. I sit there and watch them. And I noticed that those chickens would only come running towards me when it was feed time. And my grandmother would go, here, chicken, chicken, chicken. And they would come swarming. So when I found a little bitty, I realized that I'm going to keep this bitty contained in the cage. It wasn't going to eat with the rest of them. It wasn't going to be around the rest of them. And I put worms on the end of the string, and I would tell him, hit him high, hit him low, hit him like a buffalo. Hit him, and put that worm across the fence, and he would chase after that worm. Then I would pick that worm and put it on a string and have to hold the chicken in my hand and have my buddy pull the string, and I say the same thing. Then I take that same worm and have my buddy hold the worm up in the air like this, and the chicken run straight up and grab him. Then I put that worm on his shoulder and the worm around his leg while he run around in circles. Before you know it, I didn't need a worm. I just tell that chicken to hit him. And that chicken will come swarming at you because he was hungry and going crazy. And if you didn't give him what he wanted, to attack you. Yeah. So we have to use creative thought with training, be patient with the learning process, and we'll get the best out of our animals. We got a lot of IMs over here. Bro, you have some great hounds. Yes, my mutts are finally doing what I need them to do after 20 years of breeding them. Every dog in my dog's pedigree, I owned all of them. Pretty much every dog in my dog's pedigree, they're on these videos. I just used them before I sold them. And I just kept using those dogs because if you use somebody else's bloodline, if you got a great dog, and we breed our dog because he's a German Shepherd or a Doberman or a Rottweiler, whatever it is, he's great. And you know the genetics of that dog, and you breed it to this dog. Those puppies, those genetics come together. So now the puppy's half this dog and half this dog. What was this dog? So now this genetics you know in this, you knew well, you got to figure out what this mess was because somebody say he has a pretty big head and a nice color. Oh, that don't mean nothing to me because now I got to figure out how to train this part of the dog when I know this part of the dog very well. So not to get this part of the dog, I stay in my yard and line breed so they always be just one dog. And that's what you see in the results of. It's easy to condition them to do certain things because I know their genetics. And what's good, my man Isaac? Coming to you from Marion, Texas, straight from out of Houston. Love, not Marion, we from Houston. No, we know, we love you, Marion. Hey, man, you talking about how much a pup costs? You must be going to the website, www.vanguardk9.com. www.vanguardk9.com. I like how that sounds. Let's do that one more time. www.vanguardk9.com. That's where the website at. Puppy start at $2,500. If you put a deposit down before the puppy's born, you get it for $1,500 and $500, so it's $2,000 to get it to you. Is it ever too late to train a hound to bite? No, man. If he got the genetics to bite and he want to bite, you can teach him to bite at any age. But if you've taken that dog and you overly socialize this dog and he running loose out in the yard and he greets your neighbors and you got him at the business and he greeting all the customers and come in there, you might have to, I would say it's kind of cruel because who wants to put abuse on a dog to get him to change the message of the picture that he's been in? It's just some things, if you want to be humane with certain animals, if they don't possess certain natural traits, I don't want to do certain things to my dogs to get them to exhibit certain behaviors. I really don't want to take and put a pinch collar or a choke collar on my dog. If you notice in all my videos and when I'm training, you know, every now and then you'll see me put an e-collar on a dog, but that's how I've conditioned a dog for a long time. I put one on my dog the other day just to see, you know, for to come, and I really didn't need that, because if I'm not feeding the dog from a bowl in the house all day long, and he has food and water there all day long. I'm constantly training my dog all day long because he's with me. When he jump out the car, good boy, give him a treat. Say, good boy. He's just eating all day long. I'm the hot dog machine. He finds it much more rewarding to come running to me than to go running down the street smelling some scents and all this other stuff when I'm only giving him enough to wet his gums. And he like, man, I want some more of that. And so when you see that puppy looking at me like that, hey, he waiting. He want his jackpot. So, you can teach a dog something in his stages of his life, but let's just be honest and be real. Just stay in reality, man, with what you got and what it can do. And if it don't work, hey, just keep loving that dog, get you another dog and use that dog for it. Can I train my dog? Oh my God, that's what I need to wear. Somebody remind me always to wear glasses. Can I train my dog to bite at 1 year old? Yeah, that's when most of the formal, back in the day, the old dog trainers and Shih Tzu and all that, they wouldn't dare even try any bite work on their dog till they turned a year old. The reason being because you're talking about 12 months, 12-month-old dog, 6, 7 years old, depending on the breed and mentally. And at 2 years old, he's 14, 15. He's almost like a grown man. He's ready to handle the pressure of civil work along with prey work. So you can get him to bark because he's used to being around the house and he's a man now. He knows who he is or who she is. And they're not a puppy and they're ready to just show you that they're muscle, all muscle. Oh, my God, son, my dogs are fighting. Oh, no, they stopped. I got to go separate. I don't like that. I don't like dog fights. Bando asked me and Sage said, thank you. Bando, I have a 1-year-old great guard dog, barks at everything. Oh, man. You got you one out there. You're tuned in, Bando, for life. Who else over here? Nobody asked no question? Nobody asked nothing? Let's see, Scott. Larry Scott, I have a question about a German Shepherd. I've seen on previous videos that you have said GS learned to bite or the protection work. They pick up on these things later in age. For me, I'm just talking about my experience now. I can't tell you about somebody else. But for me, I'm a German Shepherd man. I love German Shepherds more than I love Dutch Shepherds, the truth. I love Rottweilers, and Dobermans. I'm hood, so I'm going to say Rottweiler is Rottweiler. So Rottweilers and Dobermans. Doberman, Rottweiler, German Shepherd, Labrador Retriever, Pit Bull, Malinois, and Dutch Shepherd probably way back here for if you ask me what I love. What I am is a German Shepherd, Rottweiler, Doberman man. I don't fool with them dogs because it's just too much to wait for to get them to do what I want to do now because people have bred them for looks and not working ability here in the States. And your next door neighbor breeding to the next door neighbor down the street, and they trying to get paid. They're not worrying about what the dogs do, and they talking about how pretty it is, and them dogs don't do anything. And I can't tell you what my puppy gonna be because I don't know. Mom and daddy ain't did nothing but bark at the fence, and the other one lay around all day long. So, but the German Shepherd himself, because of that, and if you're talking about in America and they're not in a discipline program, then you don't have no format to follow by. Now, even if these guys say they don't like sports dogs, that's still a discipline format to follow by. So that tells me something about that dog that it can learn and that these dogs have achieved certain accomplishments. And so I'll take a chance with it. But I know that most German Shepherds, unless you get a very good one, I've seen some people that has German Shepherds. I got a couple of cousins that has German Shepherds, and those dogs are fire hot like mine. And I got another cousin, like an in-law cousin, who has German Shepherds, and his dogs to me don't do nothing until they later on, and they ain't that goddamn great and all this paperwork he talking about. So, it's about the bloodline, the genetics, and then the dog. So some German Shepherds, most of them on the norm, I don't see them doing nothing until they're about a year old. But I've had the encounters. I've had these encounters with a few that did it, but they were with the right people like me that was working on it every day. But they're a little too slow for me. I like the Malinois Dutch Shepherd because I like to see those fast results. I like them hot dog, and they come out here and do their thing. Queen of Hearts, what's up? I ain't seen you in a while. Lexus Martin, hello. Thanks for loving our channel. Nobody else here with no question? Nobody listening, learning, says Melodic Soul. Welcome. You're first. Corey, I think Corey is always here. How you get the transition from sleeve to man? Pretty much, it's those movements, you know. You ever seen my son and myself? You know, I'm telling them this footwork. You see that footwork? Left, right, up. You doing that with the sleeve on. Now, when the sleeve's not on, you're doing that same thing. After a while, when that light bulb effect go on, the dog gonna be like, hey, man, I've seen this a million times. That look kind of same. You know, I don't care. I'm just gonna go ahead and rush in here. He moving pretty fast. Dogs are excited by the fast movement, stimulating the prey on some of these working dogs because we're breeding high prey thresholds. They just run out there and bite. So, you know, you on the sleeve, guy teasing that defense, that civil defense for older dogs, nighttime, light bulb effect come on. I was saying that earlier. It's the same thing. Don't get it twisted. It's the same thing. But you want to start the basic and move your steps up until you get there. You know, I don't know if some of you guys are past those stages and then you're asking, but some of the things most of you are asking are for advanced dogs and not basic. I'm the puppy imprinter. I'm the world's greatest puppy imprinter. I'm imprinting puppies. I ain't mastering adult dogs yet. We ain't on that. Y'all come see me for the puppy imprinter. Then y'all can go over and see one of these other guys. Or I create some videos for adult dogs, you know, like the DVDs that I'm going to create and sell to be the finishing. So just slow down and let's start it for the basic. And that's why we're here at Vanguard K9. You're a Vanguardian now. Let's start at basic. Let's get the information ourselves so we can paint the right picture for our puppy. You know, I've hit my 22-minute mark. It's time for me to get out of here. You know, it's Friday night. And everything's all right. We gonna party. You reach VanguardK9.com. VANGUARD, letter K number 9. I am Ulysses Muff. I am a Vanguardian just like the rest of you. And I'm here to share the information. So click subscribe on my YouTube channel now if you're new to the channel. And all of you Vanguardian veterans, make sure you continue to share my videos on YouTube, on your YouTube channel, on Twitter, wherever you can do it, them little short videos, on Instagram, somebody teach me how to do it, and Facebook, and with the world, anybody who wants to learn, because we want to get our numbers up, and we want the information to get out here, and we unite, we share information, we become stronger. Hope to see you next time. I'm out of here. Friday night, we gonna party all night, taking my dog with me. That might be a new song on my next track. Taking my dog with me. I need a country song. My dog with me. My dog with me.